Hot takes, lived experiences. Truly entertainment.
Glasses.
A little bit of a lean up.
Hey, I like it. Get comfy.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you good.
Perfect.
All right, guys, what is up? We're back with Truly Entertainment. I am here with David Steele, Baton Rouge Bourbon Society, or Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge. I told you I was going to mess it up.
Hey, you know what? You're a man of your word. I respect it.
Yeah.
And truly, you're far from the only person who has messed it up. So we're good.
I think I've been saying that for like a couple years now, and I guess I never just noticed it.
Everyone says that, and it's what it is. It's Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge Bourbon Society. It doesn't matter. You Google bourbon and Baton Rouge, you find us. That's what I care about. So
hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, though.
Yeah,
super
thanks
excited
for coming,
to be on
man. I'm looking forward to trying this. Oh, was it RD1, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen it before. Haven't tried it yet. I was a little skeptical. I'd like to try it. You want to try it?
Let's go, man. Let's
right.
start with. I always like to, start with. Sure, I can crack it.
Sure.
Ooh,
And this is the society's pick, right?
Yep. So this is one we do a lot of barrel picks. This one's through Oak Point, which obviously is right down the street if you want to go there, or
That
the
is
one in.
my go-to. Shout out Oak Point if you want to sponsor us.
I love Oak Point. They've been working with us for many, many years now. Oh, that's good.
Good.
Yeah. So I don't really drink as much anymore, funnily enough. I just kind of got out of the habit. Well, not out of the habit, but like I started about like a year ago, kind of got like diagnosed with diabetes and had to like completely change my lifestyle around. So
Not the state for that.
no, it's really not. It's really hard. And so with that, I cut bourbon for the most part. So now I drink just on very special occasions. I figured a Truly podcast would be
I like it.
special enough one to do. So
Hell yeah. I appreciate that, David.
heck yeah, man.
All right, let's try it.
All right, that's pretty good. I can't lie. So we picked this.
That's easy going down, too.
It's very easy going down. Cash strength, 60.65% alcohol, so 121 proof. Doesn't drink like that.
Yeah, no.
Not at all. So we picked that.
That's really good.
God, when did we pick that?
That is so easy to get down.
Like almost 2 years ago now. It came out about 8 months ago. It took a long time for it to come. Not even 8 months. Probably like 3 months ago. It was supposed to come out last March. No, it was supposed to come out last December, and then everything's a blur. I don't really remember dates and times anymore, but I think it only came out 3 months ago. It was about 6 months late. But,
That's because y'all staying busy.
whoa.
You good?
Yeah. A little busy here, a little busy there.
Yeah. Well, y'all busy with what? The Louisiana Bourbon Festival coming up, right?
Yes, sir. Louisiana Bourbon Festival, October 18th here in Baton Rouge. It is
La Berge, right?
La Berge Hotel and Casino.
Okay.
It is Baton Rouge's biggest bourbon event. So it's our 4th year doing it. Our first year was at Renaissance, and then the last 3 will have been at La Berge. It's a full day. Distilleries galore. We'll have a bunch come in, 30, 40 distilleries from all over the country. We'll do seminars throughout the day, lots of fun stuff, lots of drinking, and then a big grand tasting that night.
How did this start for you?
I don't know. One drunken night at Lick Cove back in like 2019. My brother, we were, so I guess, we started doing Bourbon Society, or I started the Bourbon Society back in like 2015. Yeah, because we made 10 years this year. So by 19, we had kind of got to the point where my ex-wife, she was like, you either need to like make the Bourbon Society a legit thing, like register as a nonprofit, C7, or you need to let it go. Like it's kind of like, you spend a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of energy to it. Like you need to make it official or just move on to your next thing. And I very wanted to let it go. I very much thought about it, but I decided let's try it out. Let's register as a C7. So we're a nonprofit social club. And I guess about 3 months later, we had just launched. We had to have, we have a dues. You pay $50 a year to join us. And my goal was, I think, like 50 people in year one. And we had like 150 within the first month. And
whoa, that is drastic numbers in the 50 people in year one.
Yeah, it was. I didn't realize we were, I don't know. I guess people liked hanging out more than I thought they did. We had done 4 years of events, 4 years of get-togethers at bars and houses and all that, tastings galore, and I think we had an audience. I just, when it's just kind of like non-structured, we're like, hey, we're gonna be at the Cove at this time, and this, like, we might have 30 people show up, I have 40, but like, I didn't know they would actually want to like pay money to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we launched. We had the big growth. Everyone was really excited, and one night we're at the Cove. My brother was just like, you know what we should do next? I'm like, what, Nathan? He's like, let's do a festival. I'm like, I don't know anything about a festival. I was like, yeah, me neither, but you'll figure it out.
Just wing it.
Yeah, and we really just wung it. Like, we literally, I think, started planning it in July of 19. Our initial was supposed to be fall of 20, but then
not a good time.
not a good time at all. So we're like, you know what? We'll just postpone it one full year to fall of 2021. And then, because we thought surely COVID would be done by then.
Nope.
Well, then Delta happened in like August of 2021. So we're like, all right, we'll just push it one more year. So then we finally had it November something 2022.
Okay.
So that was at the Renaissance Hotel. And then 23 and 24 and now 25 this fall have all been at L'Auberge.
Nice. So what can we expect at the festival?
Lots of fun, I would say. That's kind of what we're known for. A lot of whiskey, obviously. Come thirsty, but hydrated. Hydration's key.
Yeah.
Like, you really got to stay hydrated. You want to eat. We have food throughout the day. We'll have snacks, lots of waters. Bring your Gatorades, bring your electrolytes, because remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
Sometimes some of the people there think it's a sprint, and it is not a sprint, guys. You got to like take your time, pace it. You got to be smart about it. But yeah, we'll have seminars throughout the day if you want to do that. Lots of cool distilleries coming in, talking about, the whiskey processes. The seminars are great because it's a much more smaller setting. Mm-hmm. So the Grand Tasting will have like 400 people, right? We have the entire L'Auberge ballroom filled with booths of distillers and all that. So it's great to get a sample of a bunch of things, but the seminars are where you get to actually like talk one-on-one with the distilleries and really get to hear about them. So they'll have some really cool things they'll be launching, different educational seminars, a lot of just cool things they'll talk about. Like, I know one of the distilleries is going to like launch one of their new lines of whiskey out doing one of the seminars. So it's just a great way to like hear more about the product, more about the whiskey itself, the making, and then the Grand Tasting is more for like the actual tasting part. So lots of seminars, lots of good food, and then of course, you could sample godly amounts of whiskey during the Grand Tasting, which some people do. So
speaking about the sprint and the run part of bourbon, so I would guess probably COVID. Like, I feel like a lot of people kind of like, hey, I can't really go out. What do I have at the house? I got bourbon left over from 2 years ago, and I feel like people started dabbling. Well, that was me and the wife.
Yeah,
and dude, we didn't know exactly what to do, and then we went to, let's backtrack. In 2019, we went to one distillery in Nashville. Nelson's Brothers, I think it's called.
Bellmead Nelson's Green Brier Distillery.
Yes, that's it. So we went there and they were like, hey, I need you to just like swirl it around, smell it, do a little sip. And they're like, hey, the first taste is always going to burn sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. But by the second and third, it's like, hey, there's the flavor.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh. So then me and the wife were like, okay. We would go on, and next thing we know, we're running a sprint, not a marathon. And then we figured out, hold on, it ain't hit you yet.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're not careful, like, you'll very quickly sample like 6 or 8 things, then you can't feel your face.
Yep.
And guys, you want to make sure you can feel your face.
Yeah,
Like,
we'll recommend it.
year 3 was the best one. Like year 1, we had several people that had overindulged. Year 2 was the worst. That was really, I don't know what happened that year, if there's something in the water, but we had a lot of people overindulged.
Do you have anybody like kind of like a group of people kind of like watching out, like, hey, maybe you need a
we recommend when we have a few of our volunteers that are constantly walking around. We also have some off-duty deputies that have helped out, and then there's also LaBerge staff. So it's a full team of people just like kind of like constantly monitoring and making sure everyone's safe, everyone's making good decisions. But when it happens with 400 people, stuff happens.
Oh,
I know. I try to be more. My mom, I don't want her to listen to this and suddenly be disappointed in me.
Yeah,
It's the Baptist Center, but
I understand.
it happens. So you just do what you can, and we definitely have people though that are constantly just walking around, or volunteers, just making sure everyone's safe, everyone's making smart decisions. And
that's good. That's a good sense of mind. Like, you don't want anybody doing anything crazy.
Yeah, we definitely, year 2 was the worst one. So I will say though, I thought year 2 was bad. It was first at LaBerge. I just thought I was really embarrassed by the amount of people that got overindulged. 2 weeks later, Brew at the Zoo happened, and I don't know if you ever heard this story, but apparently my brother, he used to work at Oak Point Watson, and so he was out there helping out Nate.
That's right, Nate.
Yep. So he was helping out maybe it was one of the home brewers or someone like that, one of the breweries. They asked him to help pour that night. He was happy to, because he knew them through Oak Point. And I think about like halfway through the event, he texted me. He was like, dude, you should never feel bad about what happened at LBF. I was like, why is that? He was like, well, I'm at Brew at the Zoo, and somebody just like was so drunk they got locked in the cheetah cage. And I was like, okay,
what?
yeah,
in the cheetah.
I'm in the enclosement, in the enclosure. Somehow some drunken guy fell into the cheetah cage. So I was like, you know what? It puts things in perspective.
Was this on the news?
I mean, there's a lot of, I don't know if you pay a lot of attention to the Baton Rouge Zoo. There's been a lot of like issues, unfortunately. I know they've really spent a lot of money and energy to like getting back all their accreditations and all that, but a couple of years ago, sounds like it was a little bit worse off.
No kidding. Yeah, I've been to the zoo recently with my kids, and I was like, wow, this is.
I want to go check it out.
Nice.
Like, I know they spent a lot of money to like really renovate it and make it look good. I need to go back up there, but
I don't even think they're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was that put things in perspective for me, and I was like, you know what? A couple guys threw up. No one risked their lives. You know, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
So does it feel like it's been? You said 2015, so this is year 10.
Yep, we celebrated our 10th anniversary back in last month, June.
So does it feel like it's been 10 years, or has it been moving so fast? It's kind of hard to sit there and like, wow.
Yeah, that's a good question. It feels like it's been 10 years. It's
the blood.
I'm a highs and a lows guy. That's what I am. I'm an optimist and a pessimist. For me, I've had some amazing moments, but there's also been like a lot of gut checks of like, okay, maybe this isn't as successful as you want it to be, or maybe you're not able to accomplish all you want it to be. And, for me, I always take that personally, or, you can't make everybody happy. We're a social club. Like, people have their own opinions on how we should run things. And I try and listen to them all. And, it just sometimes I disagree on how to do things, or, other people want it their way. And it's, sometimes you have to like look at the big picture and, have board members and all that. And, if we do things one way, they want it the other way, we have to ignore them or say we're not doing it that way. And I always take those things to heart. So, yeah, it's been a lot of ups and downs. Definitely more ups than downs. But, yeah, it definitely feels like it's been 10 years like this. I can feel it. So.
I mean, how I see it is, who else was doing it? You brought this thing.
It was, I think there's a lot of bourbon clubs now, and it's awesome to see the amount of growth it has had. I will say, I don't know if you're aware, but like I think the bourbon. So for years now, everyone's always been like, all right, guys, this is the year we've tipped it. This is the year that, because it had such exponential growth in the 2000s, the 2010s, and they've been saying it since well before I started the club. Like by 2000, I started drinking bourbon seriously in like 2010, right around the time I graduated college. And I remember like 2011, 2012, everyone's like, "Oh, guys, we've peaked."
Yeah.
And I was like, "There's no way we peaked yet." But now, 13 years after that, I do finally think bourbon has kind of
Finally
peaked.
plateaued.
Yeah, I think we're starting the downward trend. And you talk to distilleries, you see the retailers, they all know it. Like it's literally two different distilleries just emailing back and forth the last 2 days. They've both been like, "Yeah, it's kind of rough out there." So
You know, I guess I could see that, but I still feel like you would have maybe you're not getting exposed to the new people that are coming into it, but I feel like the people that are already in it, those are like your staple. Like they'll keep everything at float.
I hope so, but again, it's like how much whiskey, when you think about it in terms of like how much do you have on hand today that you might not have, like versus like 5 years from now or like 10 years ago. Like you think about it, like for my collection, I don't buy that much anymore because I mean, how many bottles of whiskey does any one person need, right? For me, like, I mean, my Dorothy, my girlfriend and I, we live together. We've been together for a few years now, and we were both very into whiskey before we started dating.
Yeah.
And now, like, I mean, we joined two collections together, and I mean, good God, I mean, we might have like, I don't even want to begin to know how many bottles.
I was about to ask. I wonder how many it is.
I mean, it's definitely over 500. I might have like
drop the mic.
I might have a few hundred just on my storage unit alone, to be honest. So I mean, if you said, it's between 500, I would say 800 to 1,000. Like it's insane. It's but again, like when you buy barrel picks, right? So we do all these barrel pick releases. We released 60 of them. So we each have like 2 to 3 of those alone. So we each have our own bottles of those. So like, I mean, that alone, it's like 250 just on barrel picks.
Wow. Yeah.
Of our barrel picks. And then you throw in everyone else's and then all the cool stuff. And, it just gets like, I just stopped buying whiskey. I was like, I can survive 3 more COVID pandemics if I had to without having to buy another bottle, and I would be fine. And this was prior to me stop drinking.
We go to an apocalyptic world, and I'm hankering for a whiskey.
Oh,
I'm
call
just
me
gonna
up.
call up Dave and be like, "Hey, you got me."
Yeah. Oh, I got you covered, man. Bullets for whiskey, right? We'll do that. Bullets for bourbon. We'll trade.
Yeah,
Make it work.
trademark it.
I mean, I got a few bullets too, but we could always use more of that. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, man. It's I don't even know what the original question was, but yeah, 10 years. It's been great. It definitely. I don't know. It's been a lot of fun. I met Dorothy through it. I met a lot of great people through it, but it definitely has been trying at times.
Have you? So on this journey, I know, and for the listeners, y'all go to Kentucky and actually try these barrel picks for the society. Have you met someone that's like kind of famous, and you were like, "Whoa, didn't plan on that"?
Yeah, so the one I was most excited to meet, and it's probably one that a lot of people know about, but for me as like a really distillery nerd, Pat Heist, he is the owner distiller at Wilderness Trail. Okay. So that was my favorite distillery experience. Well, no, my favorite distillery experience was Whistle Pig. I brought that too. If you want to sample that next, you can try it.
Okay.
But Pat Heist and Wilderness Trail. So that's in Danville, Kentucky. So that's like an hour and a half southeast of like Louisville. So it's not quite where all the big ones are, but Wilderness Trail, I think, is maybe the most consistent of the new batch of distilleries. RD1's another. So there's like the legacy distilleries, Beam, Turkey, Buffalo Trace to a degree. Those are like the legacies, the blue bloods, the blue chips. And there's like the newer batch, which is like came to like they're not putting out the volume that Buffalo Traces, but you can't call them craft at this point. Like they're really putting out some volume. So like Bardstown Bourbon Co. is one. RD1 is another of like the middle tier, and then I think Wilderness Trail is the third one.
They're in Kentucky as well.
Yeah, so RD1's out of Lexington. That's Lexington's first distillery, and Lexington. Frankfurt's the capital. I don't know what their claim to fame is. I guess that's where University of Kentucky is. Maybe there's some other stuff. I don't know. But so RD1 is great, but no, Danville has Wilderness Trail. And Pat Heist, he is like this. It's like, so he has a couple of doctorates. Like he is a genius. He's really into science. He started the distillery, but to get the money to start it, he actually started selling yeast. Like because like distiller's yeast. So he has like all this science background. He used that money to funnel into making a distillery. So just in terms of like the science, and he knows more about distilling than half the people in Kentucky, 90% of the people in Kentucky. He has this really crazy long beard. He has like this really cool Camaro. He's just like, in terms of like us whiskey nerds, he's a rock star. Yeah. So I got to meet him when we did our barrel picks with Wilderness Trail, and that was the most exciting for me. He walks in the room and my jaw just hits the ground. I'm like, because I didn't think Pat was going to be there. You know, I didn't think I'd get to meet him. I was just like, oh my God, you're Pat Heist. And he's like, I am. I was like, hi, I'm a huge fan. I listen to like every podcast you've been on. Like I follow your blogs. I'm just a really big fan. He's like, cool. So you want to sell some whiskey? I'm like, yeah. Please,
yeah, I want to sit down and have a whiskey with you.
Yeah. So that was really exciting for me.
Bourbon.
Yeah.
It's all underneath whiskey, isn't it?
Yeah. So everything's, well, not everything, but yeah. Whiskey's the general term. And then you got bourbon, Scotch, Irish whiskey, single malts, and all that.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah, me and my wife, we did one about beer and bourbon. I think it was our second podcast.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm pretty sure that's it. I'm not quite sure, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So to be bourbon, in case your listeners are wondering, you have to be, number one thing is you have to be distilled in America. That's if it's not distilled here, it cannot be called bourbon. Crown Royal had that issue a couple years ago where they released something with the bourbon on the label, and then it was like
got in trouble.
They did. Like TTB approved it, and then everyone would start making complaints like, "Oh wait, no, you can't actually have bourbon on your label because you're a Canadian whiskey."
Oh,
but
I will stop you right there. What is TTB?
TTB, I don't know what it stands for. It's just the federal agency that oversees labeling, because like all labeling has to be approved by the TTB Trade something board. I couldn't tell you what the other T is for. But so everything has to be approved by the TTB, because you know you have to have like the Surgeon General's warning on and just all the language, because everything is highly regulated. What you can call it, whether it's bourbon, American bourbon, straight bourbon, whiskey, all that has to be regulated by the government. So so you have to be called bourbon, and to be bourbon, you have to be made, number one, in America. Then it has to be, the mash bill has to be at least 51% corn. Yep. So, you know, your mash bill, generally you're going to have corn. If you're bourbon, you have to be corn. And then you have a secondary grain, which most of the time it's rye. Or if you're like, want to be a sweeter whiskey, like a Pappy Van Winkle, a Weller, or a Maker's, it's going to be wheat. And then you always have to have a little bit of malt. You don't have to have a little bit of malted barley, but everyone does, because the barley has the enzymes that, oh goodness, how do you, without like getting way too nerdy into it, but it has the protein enzymes you need when you distill to create the flavor you want. So everyone has like 3 to 5% malted barley. It's just part of the science behind it. Otherwise, if you don't, then for the most part, it's not going to taste the same.
So, and then the barrels too, don't they have to be?
You have to be aged in new oak barrels.
Okay. I think I knew that.
And I guess that's it, right? Made in America, corn, new oak barrels. Those are the big three. If you want to be
Kentucky bourbon, it's got to be aged in
Kentucky. Yeah, if you want to be called Kentucky bourbon, you have to be aged and sold in Kentucky. Same thing with Tennessee. So like George Dickel, to be Tennessee whiskey, Tennessee bourbon, has to be aged in Tennessee. If you want to call it if you want to call it straight bourbon, it has to be aged at least 2 years. And then if it's anything more than 4 years, you don't have to have an age statement. So if it was like a 3-year-old bourbon, you could call it straight bourbon, but you have to put on there it's a 3-year-old bourbon. If it's called straight bourbon and there's no age statement, then it's at least 4 years old.
Wow, like, you just taught me something.
So, you know, this is Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. So we know this is at least 4 years old, which I think And then they also do have the age statement. I think this is actually a 5-year barrel, but so it's aged at least 4 years.
It's almost 5. Yeah.
So,
this is a good bottle. I would have never guessed it was 121 proof.
yeah, no, it really does not drink like you would think it would for being that high proof. So, yeah, this one's really cool. It's finished in French oak, so it kind of gives it a little cinnamon, a little nuttiness to it that just really
a little sweet too.
Yeah, it really just takes the edge off, and then you would not remotely think that it's that high proof. So,
another one that surprised me too was the Knob Creek single barrel. That's 120 proof.
Mm-hmm.
That one drinks really good too, and I was surprised that was 120 proof.
Yeah, Knob Creek, man, there's something about Jim Beam when it's aged a little bit. Like Knob Creek barrel picks are at least 8 years, if not 9 years, and some of them are 10 years and a little bit older. So, like, I really think
I still have one of y'all's picks up there.
Heck yeah, man.
Well, actually, I think I got 3.
You should. They're great.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Beam. So that Jim Beam is the biggest bourbon distillery in the world. One of their flagships is Basil Hayden, Knob Creek, Baker's, and Booker's. And Knob Creek always I think Knob Creek is my favorite of all of them, and they're just really great. They just get a little bit older than like the Bookers, and I just think they really mature really, really well. So you get a lot of oak flavor off of them, and I love a good oaky bourbon. So
that 12-year, that 100 proof is like,
oh man, that's
it's
so
dangerous. Good. It is really good.
Okay, guys, here's the special discount code Truly10 at checkout. TRULEA 10. That is the number 10, not spelled out. Truly10 is the discount code for the Louisiana Bourbon Festival. Hope to see you guys there.
All right. So why did I start the Bourbon Society? I should know this off the top. I mean, I know. All right. So I started the Bourbon Society. It was again my ex-wife and I, who we get along great. She there's another podcast for why it didn't work. But it was one day we were just watching this documentary. I was really, really into whiskey for several years before we started. Started at 15. By 2010, 11, I was really starting to like nerd out into it. Mm-hmm. Whenever I get into anything, I just like always dive headfirst into it.
And this was in, I guess, college, right?
So it was right after I graduated. College. Yeah, I graduated in 2010. Jamie and I started dating in 2011, and I was just, we're going out all the time, and I don't want to just like drink Jack Daniels anymore. I started drinking like Makers and Bookers and Bakers and all those cool things, and I was just really, nerding out on whiskey, reading all the blogs. And one day we were watching this. It was a Saturday morning, and I saw this Bourbon Tucky. It's a documentary pull up on TV on DirecTV. I was like, oh. Documentary about bourbon. It's 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning. Why not? Let's watch it. And, my ex-wife was very gracious enough to say, sure, hon, whatever. I'll just play on my phone for 2 hours while you nerd out. Yeah. So, and they end up interviewing the head or the guy who started the Los Angeles Bourbon Club or the Los Angeles Bourbon Society. And I was just like, that's really cool that LA has their own bourbon society. Why does Baton Rouge have one? And Jamie, being the smart one of the two of us, she got on her phone and was like, I don't see anything. And I was like, cool, let's start it. So I texted my best friend Jacob, who started the club with me, still part of it. And I was like, hey, I want to start a club. Are you in? He was like, yeah, why not? Let's do it. And
was he into bourbon too?
Yeah. Okay. So we were both really like, getting into it, like definitely like on different ends of the spectrum. Like he was more, I just like always loved the science behind it, how to distill, what aging in a barrel did. He was like wanted to sample everything he could. So we were just like, like his collection was really great. He had like just a bunch of different things versus I would be like, all right, I like Jim Beam. Let me get every single Jim Beam product I can find. Okay. For him, he was like, I like, everything. So it was just very different the way we approached it. Okay. So yeah, we just decided to kind of run it, and so our first event was at my house back in 2015. Like we did like a Michter's tasting. We had 4 different offerings. A bunch of our friends came over, and we like just kind of like led a little tasting amongst them all. So and
in 2015, right?
Yeah,
that was the year that you were saying, I'm hoping for 50 in a year. and then it was 150.
So that was a few years later.
Oh,
so
okay.
2015 was us when we started it, and then 2019 is when I incorporated. So that's when
So that's when it really popped.
Yeah. So like our first event, like the first one was at the house, and I think like 10 of my friends came over, and I cooked a bunch of food. We did the Michter's tasting, and everyone's like, I kind of explained what whiskey was. We talked about, we did 3 different, so it was like an American whiskey from Michter's, their bourbon, their sour mash, and then the Michter's rye. So explain about what the different mash bills meant. We try, sample, try and get people like taste, get obviously between like the rye versus the bourbon, picking up different notes. So it just everyone had a good time with it, and we're like, cool, let's do another one. So then we did. Our next event was at Lock and Key, which is now Hayride Scandal. So back then it was Lock and Key.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So that was, next to Hooters off of City Place, off of Corporate. And then we did Oliver Twist, and then we did the Cove. That was in December, was the Cove of 2015, and we just kind of ran with it. So we were doing, for a while, they were doing like a monthly meetup at a different bar. And we basically just went between Hayride or the Lock and Key, Hayride, the Cove, and Oliver Twist. Those are the big 3 that we would do the events at. So, but yeah, we were just like looking for people that like to drink whiskey and have a good time. We knew that, there was people like us out there. Reddit was another big thing. Like, there's the whiskey bourbon thread on Reddit. I don't know if you ever checked that out.
I don't think
So
I have.
you go to the food and drink channel. Wait, not Reddit. Tire Droppings. Sorry, there is another Tire Droppings is what we got. I started on that. There is another Reddit whiskey channel that I used to get a lot of information from. But on Tire Droppings, that's the local, food and drink channel on Tire Droppings, and the whiskey bourbon Scotch thread, and that's kind of how.
Okay, down a rabbit hole there.
Yep, I realized there's a lot of people out here who like to drink whiskey, so we just like post about it and be like, "Hey, we're going to this event tonight. We're having this thing," and then, like that at that point, Clandros was starting to kind of blow up with their rare whiskey raffles. We just kind of got on at the right time. Like we're lucky that there was people like us that wanted to have fun. Get to know each other and share good whiskey.
I feel like the Discord is pretty informative too. It's kind of nice to have there. Just kind of pop in.
Yeah. Discord was great. We still got that running. There's still a healthy amount of people like to talk and, just post about what they're drinking, what they're sipping this night. And, it's great just to like post about, Oak Point Watson has the newest thing there and people go pick it up and Calandros or, whoever.
Shout out to Oak Point if you want to sponsor me.
Oak Point's the best. I love Oak Point. They have been our backers from day one. Clint Nada, we would not have been where we are without him and my brother, obviously. They really backed us when no one else did. Like, no one else knew about us. No one else really cared to know about us. From day one, we got a discount on barrel picks, and that was
when I tell
6 years ago.
When I tell everyone, like, hey, they ask me, hey, where are you getting some of the stuff? I'm like, hey, it's Oak Point.
Mm-hmm.
It is Oak Point.
Yeah.
Especially, like, I'll have friends. So I'm originally from Centerville, Mississippi.
Okay.
I have friends that still ask me that live towards that way still. And they'll come and drive all the way to Oak Point for good bourbon.
Yeah. No, Oak Point literally is the best in town. Now, especially with they have the St. George location. So that's
I have not been there yet.
I live in South Baton Rouge. So I live 3 minutes from there. So I live off of Perkins between like Seagan and PQ.
Okay.
So like, drove from there all the way up to here today is a pain in the butt. But having now them taking over the old Calandros location and it's now Oak Point St. George is awesome. Because for me now, I finally get Oak Point. That's 3 minutes from me. Like you have it from you.
Oh yeah, I got Central right there and I got Watson right there.
Yeah, best of both worlds.
It's good when they drop something that I'm like, whoa, like eager to get my hands on. I'm like, oh, if they don't have it there, let me hurry up and go to the other one.
Heck yeah. Because honestly, Watson is like, that is, especially like in 2019, 2020, 21, like Watson was like the gold mine because everyone went to Central. My brother was running the Watson location. He would always have, like Clint would sell out of E.H. Taylor small batch in a day. Nathan would have it for 2 weeks because like no one else would want to go up there. So it's like, guys, 15 more minute drive and you get everything.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
But
absolutely.
Love Oak Point. They have been, and another thing, so that's a fun thing about Louisiana Bourbon Fest, I forgot to mention. we have the Oak Point Lounge. So if you have the VIP tickets, so during the tasting, Oak Point donates a lot of like the really high end rare bottles. So like, you know, we'll have probably Van Winkle. We'll have some of the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. Some of those really cool, like the Mixtures 10s, like all the rare bottles that you don't get a sample.
Yeah.
You have the VIP ticket, which costs a bit more. And we all have all that in the lounge. So during the grand tasting, you can sample all the regular distillery stuff, or you get access to the lounge and you get, I think we capped it at 10 pours last year.
That's a
5
lot.
or 10 pours. But either way, like it's a
pours
lot.
For like really good whiskey.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I remember, so our year 1 and 2, we didn't, year 2, we did not cap it. Year 3, we did have a limit on how many you got to pour. And a couple of people were like, wait. We didn't know you were capping this year. I'm like, just do your thing, go have fun. And if you are upset that you are limited how many you get.
But 10 pours, that seems like a lot.
It might
be
be
a good bit.
If it was not 10, it was 5 or 10. I don't honestly remember how many we capped it at.
With that good of bourbon, I feel
With
like that's
everything
pretty
else.
Good. I feel like that's a pretty good trade-off.
I think it was 10 or maybe 8. I should know this. I don't remember. I hate that I don't.
You good.
Regardless, I just was like, if you're unhappy with it at the end of the night, find me. We'll give you a refund. Like if you're this unhappy about being limited. I remember one of the guys I talked to about it. I saw him that night. I'm like, all right, how are you feeling? He's like, dude, you were right. Like we did not need more than we did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because they're half-ounce pours of like Buffalo Trace Antique, Van Winkle 15, Mixtures 10, some of the high-end, like the high-end Wild Turkey Master Keeps. We had like the Angel's Envy, like the Cellar Collection was those really, really cool bottles that no one had a sample. Booker's 25 year or Booker's 25th anniversary. Like it's all the crazy stuff that if it's in the Calandro's raffle, we probably have some version of it.
Yeah.
So
what has like been your like I didn't think I was gonna be able to try this bottle.
I mean, yeah, obviously like some of the Pappies, you know, because I guess I have been able to buy a few of them now, but any one I buy, I put aside for one of our raffles. Four Roses is my go-to. So Four Roses Distillery, that's my favorite distillery in Kentucky. And so they have every year they have a small batch limited edition. So those are really hard and rare to find. So I've always enjoyed finding those. Like the 125th anniversary, that was, I guess, 10 years ago now. I found that at Chimes in Covington one day. We were there meeting some friends, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll just take a Four Roses, neat. And they come back with, well, which one do you want? I'm like, well, which ones do y'all have? And they're like, oh, why don't you just come with us? So I walked over there. I'm like, uh-oh. I was like, wait. Y'all have like the single barrel, which was like $6 a bottle, a pour. They're like, or we had this other fancier looking one. I think it's like $8 a pour. Is that okay? I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Let me just go ahead. And I
Did you ask for the bottle?
I did not ask for the bottle because it was Jamie's friends were meeting, and I did get a double, and I came back and I gave her the keys. I'm like, it's a full bottle. I'm not gonna kill the whole bottle tonight, but I'm
getting some heavy, some drinks.
So I ended up posting about it on Tire Droppings, and I went back like a month later, and the bottle was gone. But several people were like, "Yeah, dude, you gotta go get this while you're there." I'll post about it. So it was exciting. So that was probably that was one of my most favorite. Found in the moment, got to sample it. Another really cool one was Jefferson's Presidential. Those are some. I guess they still do some of those releases, but this was like probably came out 2012, 2013. And I sampled it probably in like 2017 or 2018, but it was some of the old Stitzel Weller juice. So that's like Pappy Van Winkle, which is, probably the most highly sought after or regarded bourbon whiskey.
Yeah.
And Stitzel Weller is where it all came from. So that's like an old OG distillery. And so that old Stitzel Weller juice is like regarded as some of the best of the wheated bourbon. And Jefferson's Presidential got some barrels of it. They released it. And again, actually had to be like more like 2019 or 2020 because the Cove put it out for one of our parties. He had one bottle left. Tom did. He was like, all right, I've been holding on this for you for a while. I know one day y'all want to have something special. And this was the bottle. I was like, Tom, that's Stitzer Weller juice from like, distilled in 1990. He's like, yeah, I just wanted y'all to have something special because, again, like we've done so much for Tom. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
how much pours? He was like, I think let's just do 20. I'm like, Tom, this bottle goes for like $2,000 now. You're gonna sell it to us for 20 a pour. Done and done. Thank you.
Sign me up. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. So we killed that bottle that night. That was fun. That was a fun night.
Now that you say that, I have a friend in Jackson. He owns a gun and liquor store.
God bless Mississippi.
No. This is Jackson, Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
Wait, a gun? You can do gun and liquor in Louisiana? I know you can do it in Mississippi. I didn't know you could do that in Louisiana.
Yeah, it is in Jackson, Louisiana.
Okay.
It's called Tom's Creek Firearms.
All right.
Is the gun side, and then the liquor store is called the Hangar Bay.
Okay.
And he was another guy similar to you. He was into it, into bourbon, and then the next thing you knew, he had like $40,000 worth of bourbon just as in his little private collection. And he was like, I think I'm gonna open up a liquor store.
Heck yeah.
Well, he does this little promotion thing. I guess maybe off the books. He'll invite a few people over, kind of similar to what y'all started, and we'll just kind of sample his personal stuff. He told me to try some Jeffersons one time. And it was a different bottle I ain't never seen before.
Yeah.
And now I'm curious. I'm going to have to ask him if that was the bottle.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to ask him. I'm curious now. But I feel like he has a policy. If it's open, it's fair game for all of his friends that are there hanging out, having a good time.
I love that policy. That's how I've always been. Like, there's a few things. If it's not open, I don't want, like, I have a bottle. It's a Four Roses from like 2012 that I'm saving for when I pass the CPA exam. But if it's open and you're at my house or I bring it to your house, I'll always just bring a bunch of bottles in where I go. Yeah. There's always in my car. Have at it, enjoy it, drink what you can. So.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, I feel like the purpose of bourbon is to have a good time with your friends and enjoy.
To share it.
And what I've really liked is like I now have a few friends of mine that I've gotten into bourbon, and now we have a little card night, and we'll try to get bourbons that none of us have had.
Yeah,
and do like a little blind tasting and see which one is the
Love
best.
That. Mm-hmm.
And one of the ones that I love is the Benchmarks.
Yep.
Man, don't sleep on them damn Benchmarks.
Benchmark's great. That's Buffalo Trace. Like it's always been like the cheap bourbon, but like a couple of years ago they kind of did the rebrand and they have like the full proof and some of the single barrel Benchmarks, and they're just great, $25-$30 bottles of whiskey. So
that and another one. Listeners, listen up. The Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond.
Oh, I love the Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond.
Dude, when I say I've had a blind tasting with my E.H. Taylors, my Blantons, that puppy will outbeat them most of the time. With not just myself, with other people that have not had it before.
Heaven Hill has a special place in my heart. I do feel like they're kind of jerks sometimes. I'll say that. Like, like what I hate about them is like Henry McKenna 10-year. Have you had that one before?
I don't think I've had.
So that's like a squat bottle. It's green label. That I've drank more Henry McKenna 10 than anything else on the planet. Because for a little while, I used to go to a beverage store a lot. I'd go there because when I worked for the state of Louisiana, maybe on my way home, if I take Florida home, so I'd stop at a beverage store pretty much like every Friday. And I would always buy 2 bottles of whiskey. I'd buy a Henry McKenna 10-year, and then I'd buy something else that I had. And so
McKenna.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like,
McKenna.
I'm looking at you like, okay, my gears are going. McKenna, yes.
McKenna
it's got a
10-year.
little bit of cinnamon taste to it. Okay.
Yeah. So like back then, it was like $26.99 a bottle, and so I'd always have that.
26.
Yeah. So I would get it. I always say beverage store is always the cheapest in town up until like O Point really took over. But for a while, beverage store was the cheapest, especially in the 2010s. And so I get that, and I get like one other bottle, whatever it was. It didn't matter. I just want to sample stuff. But that McKenna, I probably drink that. I'd kill a bottle of that every week or two, but I always have like plenty of backups. And then I would have the new one, and I always compare whatever it was to the McKenna, and McKenna always won. So love McKenna, love McKenna. The problem is in like 2018, 2019, I won Whiskey of the Year, and then it went crazy. Heaven Hill leaned into that. They doubled the price, and now you can't. Well, now you can find it again, but for a lot of years you couldn't find it, and so I've moved on from it. Still will drink it if I'm asked to, but like it's just went from being like my go-to, hey, if you're looking for a new whiskey try that to I don't even recommend it anymore.
I find once people figure out the Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond, it may be the simpler thing, because you know as well as I do that 100 proof, and I find the higher proofs stay with you longer, have a little bit more flavor. But I have found that particular Bottle and Bond, and for the listeners that don't know, Bottle and Bond, it's 100 proof. It's not higher; it's got to be right at 100 proof to make it a bottle and bond, right?
Yeah.
So at that 100 proof, it packs like 126 proof with the flavor that lasts.
Yeah.
I find.
So yeah, it's going to be Bottle and Bond. That's a fun designation. That's another one by government, regulated by the TTB. It means it has to be 100 proof, no more, no less. Has to be distilled in one season from a single distillery, which means like Buffalo Trace can distill it, but they have to then sell it. Like it has to be from one distillery, aged at one location for 4 years or more.
What? I didn't know that.
So that's
so it has to stay basically on that site.
Yeah, or within like that distillery. Obviously, like you might distill it here, then move it down. With the warehouses, but it has to be within like that same region. So, it's just one of those things that back whenever so the Bottle and Bond Act was what? 1870 or 1897. I can't remember.
You got me stopped there.
I know it's one of the two. So because those are just a couple of the different. I can't remember which one was. I think it was 97.
This is when I need to have Jamie over there behind the equipment. Be like, hey, Jamie, look that up.
Yeah. So, but it was back before then. There was a lot of like rectifiers, and whiskey wasn't nearly as regulated as it is today.
Yeah.
And so it was like a lot of fake whiskeys, a lot of like just what they would do is they would get like, really young, unaged whiskey, put a bunch of food coloring and like kind of chemicals in it to make it look older, taste older, but it really wouldn't like sit with you well. It was real crap. So the Bottle and Bond Act was a way to regulate it to where you knew that this was at least 4-year-old whiskey at 100 proof. So you knew that this was going to be somewhat, it was a way to bring a standard into it.
Okay. And
so today though, like it's a really cool thing that distilleries, so you had the Bottle and Bond Act. I really think it was 1897. It kind of give away a stamp to say, hey, this is regulated by the government. We know it's at least 4 years old, so we know it has some age to it. We know it's 100 proof, because if it doesn't, it's breaking the law. They get in trouble. Yeah. So we know that this is something that it's like a mark, seal of approval. So back then, when you didn't have advertisements and all those things, you didn't really know what you're drinking. This was a way to say, okay, well, if this is bonded, we know it's good.
Yeah, we're legit.
Yeah,
this is okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
And then so like today though, with the advent of the internet and all that, like you don't need those type of seals of approval. So it's been really cool to see that come back, because like for a long time it wasn't a thing. In the 90s and the 2000s, no one cared about bonded. But then E.H. Taylor brought it back with a small batch, and then now there are other distilleries like Heaven Hill that have done that, and it's just a fun little kind of throwback to the olden times of the fun whiskeys.
I find the 100 proof, if you're getting into bourbon, like
that's a great place. That's a great starting place.
A little bit lower, like that's a great starting place. Like you said, it's not like just breathing fire after.
No, it's not. You can enjoy the flavor, you can enjoy it, but without like knocking your socks off.
Yeah,
so
right.
Yeah, always recommend 100 proof, especially if you're making a cocktail. That is the place you want to go with.
What's your go-to cocktail mix? Like just a mixer, or what have you been on right now? Maybe not a go-to, but just what have you been on right now for your mixers?
So I don't do a lot of cocktails anymore with my diabetes.
Yeah.
I really don't. I've been wanting to try and do like a sugar-free, like there's the low carb calorie guy. He's out of Baton Rouge. He runs the Rum Society of Louisiana, and he has like a YouTube channel about making like sugar-free and healthy cocktails. So I watched him do some low cal and sugar-free syrups, and I want to do that and try and see if I like that in my old fashions. But old fashions are my go-to. Like that was, I would drink on a healthy amount of those on a singular night. I love a good old fashioned. I used to have, again, once I stopped drinking as much, I gave a lot of my stuff to one of my buddies who's really into cocktails. So I gave him, I don't know, 20 or 30 different types of bitters. Like I would really get into, I love to mix different bitters to come up with the perfect flavor combinations for my old fashions. Like I would do fall ones, which would be more maple syrup based. In the spring, I might do something like that's a little bit lighter, do more kind of like lavender type bitters. You'd also get to mix it with the different types of whiskey. So, fall or winter, I would like to do a maple syrup based. I would do like a cask strength rye, give it some real heat to it, make it real stick in you.
Little bite too.
Little bite, make you want to feel it in your chest while you're sipping it.
Especially if it's cold.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Oh yeah, get your solo stove going on outside. That's the jam.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, old fashions. I'd always do heavy. I'll probably do like 4-to-1 whiskey to syrup. Probably wouldn't recommend that. You gotta build up to that.
Yeah, don't do that at first. You'll
but
you gotta take it slow at first.
Tobacco bitters would be a really fun one to find. But yeah, I would definitely always recommend old fashioned. If you don't know what to get, go. Either make your own simple syrup. It is easy as can be. You just boil water. Once the water's boiling, take it off the stove. Put in. If you do 1 cup of water, do 1 cup of sugar. Blend it together, just get your little whisk and then let it sit, and that's simple syrup. If that's too much for you, you can buy it. There's a couple of really great local syrup companies. Cocktail Experiment and Syrup de Saison are 2 I recommend.
Oh, they're local here?
One, Syrup de Saison is out of Lafayette. Alex Saison makes it. Great guy. I've known him for years. And then Cocktail Experiment is Baton Rouge. So both of them.
Experiment. Where is that at in Baton Rouge?
So he just sells it, like Oak Point, Calandros, Hocus. He's actually was started by the guys who did Oliver Twist.
Okay.
And then Josh sold it to a guy named Devin, and Devin's been doing that for about 2 years now.
Okay.
So great. They do really cool stuff. Another one would be Exquisite Elixirs. That's another local guy, Derek Stewart, who owns Medatory. He also used to own Gilla back in the day. So he does
Gilla Brewery?
Yeah. So he did Gilla Brewery and then Medatory, which is in not San Francisco, Prairieville.
Okay.
And then he also does all these really cool, fun cocktail syrups. So there's lots of things you can find. But yeah, get you a simple syrup. Then just start with your standard Angostura bitters. Do a few of those, and then next time pick up another bitter that looks fun, like a cherry bitter or orange bitter.
Have you found So I'm not a huge old fashioned guy. I love a Kentucky Mule.
Okay.
And the only reason why I don't like the old fashions is the bitters. Do you have a bitters that you would recommend that's not? I don't know. Lack of better words. Bittery.
So you maybe more light is what you're looking for. I think like a cherry bitter, like Fee Brothers, they do a lot of great bitters. I like their cherry one a lot. Tiki bitters from who makes the tiki bitters? It's owned by Sazerac. I might have to pull my phone out on that one if I can. But that is a really good. Think like allspice and clove. What in the world? Why am I suddenly blank on who makes the tiki bitters? I'm Googling it as we speak. If I can pull it up. Come on, let's work for me.
Technical difficulties.
I know, it always is.
It's all good, David.
But yeah, I would go with something. I would say start with a cherry bitter and see what that one.
Okay.
Several different brands make a really good cherry one. Bittermins. Cannot recommend them enough. Bittermins. So yeah, they do tiki bitters. Bittermins is great. So they do tiki bitters. They do lavender bitters. They do. I know they have a really interesting one. If you want to do, it's like a celery one. If you want to throw that in your, what's the thing that people drink on brunches with the tomato juice that I don't drink because it's nasty. Bloody Marys.
Gotcha.
Yeah, a lot of people. I don't like that.
Can I do it?
No, I don't want to drink a salad, guys. Come on now.
I'm good. That has tomato soup. Feels like
that's not for me. So
Yep.
they have a celery bitter, but yeah, Bitterman's Tiki Bitters. Highly recommend them.
Betterman's Tiki Bitters.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to try that out.
Yeah. I'll find a bottle. I'll get it to you.
Yeah, I see you got me some stuff here for the Baton Rouge Bourbon
Bourbon Society Baton Rouge.
Society.
Remember, be sober. Be sober. BSOBR.
So yeah, let's show the camera.
We got the T-shirt.
Got a nice T-shirt in here. Oh, I even got some koozies.
You gotta have the
Thank
koozies.
you, brother.
We got a lot of koozies.
I
so
appreciate that.
We bought 1,000 each.
Oh
from
wow, Southern Marsh too.
Yeah.
That is a really nice koozie.
Yeah,
Appreciate
they're, you know, what is it? What did they say in Jurassic Park?
and
Nothing
we
but the
got
best.
And we got some stickers. Look at that. I love it. Appreciate it, Dave.
Yeah, man, of course.
Yeah. Oh. And a glass. Look
Yeah.
at there.
LBF.
LBF, Louisiana Bourbon Festival.
Yes, sir.
I love it.
October 18th.
I'm going to have to bring that out there. Well, y'all probably have some drinks.
Yes, you
Some
get
glasses.
when you attend, you get a glass to start drinking with. So
I appreciate that. At this time, I'm going to give us a shout out to our sponsor, Sweet Heat for Your Meat.
Love it.
I'll give you a can over there. It is our first sponsor ever,
it's huge.
and they are a seasoning blend, authentic Cajun seasoning blend. You can find them. I think they're at half of the Rouses right now, which is about 38 Rouses. And if you go to sweetheatforyourmeat.com, you can actually see all of their locations where they're at. So if you're, rural area, you can still even find them. And I think they're now in Texas and Tennessee. I know they're in Mississippi as well. But
That's awesome.
We personally like them on green beans.
Okay.
Really, really good on green beans. And we do this chicken in the boneless, skinless thighs in the oven, and we'll coat it so it's easy on. So the can is a lot less sodium than a lot of the other
That's important.
seasoning blends.
Yeah.
Well, especially in Louisiana, we already
Dude. Yeah.
cholesterol. So we do the chicken, and we kind of coat the top of it, and then we'll put like a little bit of chicken broth. We'll let the boneless, skinless thighs bake half for I think it's 45 minutes, but half the 45 minutes we'll flip them and then coat them again. So then we'll cook some rice. So then we'll put the rice in the chicken broth that's done cooked down with a little bit of the boneless skinless thigh fat. So then we'll have all that mixed together, and then it'll last like 5 or 6 minutes. Now we're doing Minute Maid rice.
Okay.
So then it's already cooked. So then we pull it out, put the rice in there, let it sit for another 5-10 minutes just off, and then we'll serve it up.
Heck yeah, dude.
So
That sounds delicious.
That's one of our favorite dishes with Sweet Heat for Your Meat. So go check them out, sweetheatforyourmeat.com. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, back to it.
Yeah, dude. I love it. It's always exciting getting a sponsor. Like, I remember, like, the first time we had someone was like, hey, we like what you're doing. Why don't you talk about our stuff? That's awesome. And, use it to help move your product. That was a big deal. So that's huge.
Well, for me, so Meredith, Sweet Baton Rouge. Shout out to Sweet Baton Rouge. We love you. We love you, Meredith. We love how much she supports local and has really gave us more of a sense of like, man, I really want to help the local people.
Yeah.
And me and we haven't released it yet, but me and Jordan Basham with Where to Go 225, we were talking about how we love to be able to help the local community to support the local people, because you're also helping support the local families.
Yeah.
And also Baton Rouge, it's not as big as you think it is.
No, it's like one big family.
Everyone pretty much knows everyone.
Yeah.
And if you don't know that person, you know somebody that does know that person.
Exactly. No, like, so that's why I still live in Baton Rouge. So I know I didn't talk about it. Like, I'm from Texas. So I moved here.
Are you, David?
I am from Texas. I moved here in high school. My dad was a doctor, got the job at the General. So I moved here halfway through my junior year.
Okay.
So, like, I am not from Louisiana. I do not claim it. I wish I could claim I'm from Louisiana.
Yeah.
I know how we are about us. And I say we because I will say I am 37 years old. I moved here when I was 16. I feel I can at least half claim Louisiana. I am
Yeah.
not from Louisiana,
Yeah.
but I will not say I'm from Texas, but living more than half my life here, like my formative years in Louisiana,
Yeah.
I feel like went to LSU. I feel like I have some claim to it. I'm like a half breed. I don't know.
Well,
Like I can't full claim it, but I have some credibility with Louisiana. I feel like.
I feel the same way, man. I'm from Centerville, Mississippi, the Mississippi.
Yeah.
My parents were divorced, so I am now 28. They got divorced in like I was 9.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been living halfway between the two states, Louisiana and Mississippi.
Yeah.
So what I do is I call myself a red ass. It's a redneck and a coon ass.
Mix it together.
Red ass.
Yeah, I love it.
And boy, do I also get the red ass sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gets it.
But yeah, so with Baton Rouge, and that's why like I've stayed, and that's why like it's because the people here, like growing up in Texas, like yes, Southern hospitality is kind of a thing in Texas. Like we were friendly, but it's so different down here. The people down here, the culture, it's just so much more vibrant. Like
Yeah.
we all like genuinely love each other, which is not the way in Texas. At least where I grew up in like Wichita Falls, like north of Dallas, Texas. Like we were friendly,
Oh, wow.
but like it's just a whole different environment.
Is
Whole
that near
different.
Prosper, Texas? Or Frisco?
So it's like 2-ish hours north of that. But yeah.
Oh, it's more north.
Yeah. So we are like right on the Oklahoma Texas border.
Oh, yeah, you're up there.
Yeah.
Huh.
So there's like an Air Force base there. It's about the town like 100,000 people. So it's like the size of Lafayette.
Okay.
So but, it's cool. Yeah. So like Prosper is if you go up like I guess 287 from Dallas, you'll pass Prosper and Frisco and all that, and keep on going another like hour and 50 minutes.
Why I say that I have family over there still in Prosper.
Okay.
And, well, I think that, it's Prosper, not Frisco.
Yeah, so my coworker was literally talking because it's just funny you say that because her grandma and her brother are on their way to Prosper as we speak.
Oh.
Because we were talking about that yesterday. They're going to go see her uncle lives up there, and it's just funny that you said Prosper because you don't hear Prosper a lot, and
No.
now that's twice in 24 hours.
Yeah. No
Because she was like, "How far would drive?" Because I'd make that drive. My mom lives in Oklahoma City, so I drive to Dallas, and then I head north from there all the time.
Okay.
And so it's just funny that two different people in Prosper.
Like Dallas is not bad of a drive.
No, it's like 6 hours as long as you get at the right time. If you go like right now, I would not want to be in Dallas because right now it's really really bad traffic. But
Oh, yeah.
if you go at like 2 p.m. or like 7 p.m., it's easy.
So you were 16 when you came to
Yep.
Louisiana.
Came down here, went to
Was it
Dunham.
like a culture shock?
Yeah, a bit. Yeah. Like I didn't really know what to expect. Like it's funny. I kind of like my one big reference was the Water Boy.
Come on, oh yeah. I'm wearing a shirt
like-
for Happy Gilmore Day.
I kind of like thought that was what Louisiana was like a little bit. Like
Really?
I was 16. I didn't know any better. Like I mean that and no, yeah, it was really this Water Boy was probably like the biggest. There was a Scooby-Doo movie that I used to love. That was
it the
it was one of the
zombie
cartoon-
one?
Yeah, that was also in Louisiana. So like
Yeah.
those were my two references moving down here. So I didn't know what to expect. And then my high school in Texas was like 1,800 kids. Went to Dunham, which had like 200 kids, and so that was like a big shock. Like
Oh, I actually know people now.
like that was like I remember like my first day, my dad was like, "How'd you like it?" I was like, "It was fine." He was like, "Did you meet a lot of people?" I'm like, I think I met the whole school.
No shit.
He's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, I legit think I met every single student. Because like one of the kids or one of my friends, or he's my friend now, but at the time I didn't know him that well, but obviously he was like, "Hey, I just want to have you walk around." He literally was like, "Hey, this is David." So I literally shook hands with almost everyone in school that day.
That's nice.
It was nice, but I was just like, this is crazy. Like I used to, I'm much more introverted. So like for me not having to like meet every single person the first day was
You would have been fine.
yeah. So it was just different. But again, love Baton Rouge. I just think the culture here is just the people, there's just something, the energy here. Like it's just so much more. I don't think you find in a lot of other places. Like maybe in other places in the deep south, but definitely
I feel like Louisiana is one of a kind and by far one of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it goes back to what you and I and a lot of people that are prevalent in Louisiana. we're a family,
Mm-hmm.
and we just like to have a good time.
Yeah. Like, I don't have any family that lives in Baton Rouge. I don't have any family that lives in Louisiana. Like, my brother, he moved to Pennsylvania a year ago. And, like, you know, my mom lives in Oklahoma. My sister lives in Virginia. And, you know, they're all kind of like, well, do you want to leave Louisiana? Do you want to move? I'm like, I have roots here. Like, it's not family
It's a done
roots.
deal now.
Like, this is not family roots per se, but, like, it's just friendships and, like, connections that I don't want to leave. You know, like, it's, you know, brothers not by blood, but, you know, like, people I would consider my family. So
I find often the people that end up moving and have lived the majority of their life in Louisiana, if they end up moving away, I find the majority of them end up coming back
yeah,
because it's just
it's a magnet. Yeah, like it's just, I mean, where else do you find people as friendly as they are? Culture, food, football, LSU. Like, there's just, it's always something fun. Like, and the fall in Baton Rouge is the best time. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if it was like 10 degrees colder at any given day,
10 degrees colder, yeah.
that would be amazing. But, like, there's just, like, LSU in the fall, it's just the best. Like, I am so excited for football season, tailgating. You know, we do different, like, whiskey cocktails for every game,
Yeah.
having the grill out there. It's so much fun. Like, it really is such a fun, great city to live in.
And
So
I'll give you a little inside scoop and the listeners for y'all that are listening. I will be hosting some live game day type events on campus.
That's awesome. Where at?
So, you put me on the spot. I think it's South Stadium Drive. You have all of the RVs right there that are parked on the road. There's a parking lot, and then you have the next line of trees where another line of RVs are.
Okay.
So we're right there. We're kind of where the baseball players used to hang out.
Yeah.
Towards the left. I say left. I'm picturing a picture of Google Earth right now.
Yeah.
It's kind of in that vicinity right there.
Okay.
I want to say it's parking lot 402.
Okay.
I want to say. It's definitely the 400s. It's like north. I'm trying to think. I'm calculating in my brain.
Yeah.
Northwest of Touchdown Village.
Okay.
I feel like everybody knows where
Yeah.
Touchdown Village is. So, yeah, we're going to be doing that. Our first trial run is actually going to be for Meredith Sweet Baton Rouge Tailgate.
Yeah.
August 23rd.
Okay.
At Perkins-Row.
Yep.
And I'll be doing a live, we're calling it a live podcast, but it's in-person live podcast where you can see me and another one of my friends going to be doing upcoming football season.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
yeah, we're excited. Hopefully it goes well.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? We're gonna shoot from the hip and see where it goes.
Heck yeah, dude. So yeah, we're over like by Indian Mounds, so like kind of far from there. But yeah, definitely, I'll come hang out. I'll come swing by, bring a bottle of whiskey.
For those of you who don't know, I usually have a tailgate once a year for
one of the
bourbon,
games. Yeah, we'll do like a bourbon.
society.
Yeah, so Bourbon Society, Baton Rouge, or Louisiana Bourbon Fest. That's one big thing. Let's be serious. Yeah, we always do. My friend Brad and I, we do a tailgate, and for one of them, we take it over. Where like normally with Brad and I, we have like maybe 5-10 bottles of whiskey. Whatever the Bourbon Society LBF tailgate is, we'll have like 50 bottles of whiskey, and like you come and sample everything you want. We'll have lots of really good food. We always do fun things. Generally, we make our friend Clay come out there and make a big pot of jambalaya because he's the jambalaya master. His jambalaya is really good. So
now
shout out Clay
now.
Tucker, love you, man. You're gonna come out again whenever we do the. I don't even know what
He just voluntold you, by the way, Clay.
you'll do it. You will, right? Hopefully. But yeah, so we'll always. That's a fun one to come out to whenever I need to look at the schedule, see which one we want to do this year for that. Yeah. But anytime you're walking around campus and you're by the Indian Mountains, just look for us. We're coming down Dalrymple. Indian Mountains are on your left. We're on the right. We're kind of like that corner as you can veer off. So you'll see 3 or 4 tailgate tents. You see a bunch of whiskey. You'll see a big burly guy, 6'4", whatever I am, with and an apron and a grill. Just come say hey.
I thought y'all had didn't y'all have some flags out or something last year? I
want
to say
we had a banner out for a couple of the games. Okay. It was like our logo and all that on there.
Nice.
So Yeah, I'm trying to think. Did we have any flags? I don't think we had any
I
flags.
sworn y'all did.
I think we had just had the banners. We've always had a banner out, or like a big. We have a. I stopped bringing it out to them because it's so heavy. You have like this barrel head, but it like weighs like 10 pounds, and when you're having to move stuff from your truck all the way,
That's a pain.
yeah,
Yeah,
it kinda
especially
is.
where you're at. Like that's a. If you don't have a spot right there, you're
Yeah.
having to walk a little bit.
It's a lot. So we get out there early. Like you were out there like by 7 setting up every game.
Yeah.
So
You have to.
yeah,
Have to.
but it's fun. But yeah, y'all should come out. We'll definitely post about the tailgate. So if you want to find information about us, we should probably say that. It's going to be, we have 2 sites, bourbonbr.com, that's for the society, and then louisianabourbonfest.com, that's for the actual, for the festival. And both sites have links to each other. So our club, that's again, to join the club, it's like $50 a year. We have private events, we have public events, everything in between. It's just a great way to like get a sample bourbon, have fun. You get discounts at Oak Point and Hocus Pocus, and then the festival. You also get a discount if you're a Bourbon Side Baton Rouge member, you get a discount for the festival. So, festival itself is October 18th at La Berge. Come check it out. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Tickets are $100 for the grand tasting. And that's all you can eat and drink for 3 hours. So I mean, that's really not a bad deal.
Then
if
you're at La Berge, go gamble.
Yeah,
But this is not a gambling advice.
nope. Plus, if you're a member, you get like a 20% discount. So you're really only paying $80 for that. So,
Nice. Hell yeah.
So, also I was thinking if you want to give away a set of tickets to your members, if you want, or to your listeners, if you want to figure out, we're happy to do that. And then if y'all want a discount code, we could probably make that happen.
Yeah, we'll add a discount code. I'll come up with something.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming, David.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. Thanks for letting share some whiskey and talk about our fest.
Oh, absolutely, man. Of course. Again, as we become better known friends, this is what me and my life will live for.
Yeah.
We want to uplift Louisiana because this is the greatest state I feel like in America.
I could not agree more. I mean, this is Louisiana Bourbon Festival for a reason. Like,
that's right. Oh yeah, this is my new hat.
Yeah, it's a good looking hat.
Absolutely.
So it really, yes, there's some issues with the state, but the people, the culture, it's just so much. It's just so good. Like I love it. I love it. I want to stay here forever.
Same here.
So
all right, signing off. Deuces, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Till next time.